ॐ स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः. My salutations to Sri Ramakrishna, who descended on this earth to establish the Dharma, who is the embodiment of all the world religions, and who is the best among the incarnations. Oh, peace, peace, peace. Dear devotees, today we are having a interesting discussion. Already, I think 3 talks we had on Sri Ramakrishna and his divine play. Previous lecture, few weeks before, just I touched upon how Sri Ramakrishna was the embodiment of the Vedas or Vedic wisdom. That is, we can say, is a Veda Murti. One more name for Sri Ramakrishna can be considered as Veda Murti or Veda Swarupa. Vedas means what? It is a divine wisdom or the knowledge of Brahman, we can say. Now, before getting into the real Sri Ramakrishna and his divine play, probably I would like to discuss very important concept regarding the Bhavamukha. Sorry. This Bhavamukha is very, very important. Recently, there was an interesting discussion or an experience with one of the devotee. I mean, I'm not judgmental about the devotee, but only he or she said, while discussing, I said, look, Sri Ramakrishna and his divine play is very important book. To understand Sri Ramakrishna, so we should study. I mean, the devotee said, Swamiji, once or twice even I have read already. So I think I've done that. So if any new book is there, you kindly let me know. I'm interested in reading new books. I said, fine, you read twice. I appreciate it. But it is not enough to study and to understand the Sri Ramakrishna and Sri Ramakrishna's message or the life incidents. It is not that easy. You need a good amount of preparation, good amount of study, good amount of contemplation. Though she was not very convinced, I mean, the way she was looking at me, that it was like a challenging. Can you prove your sentence or a statement? Then I explained 1 or 2 incidents about the Bhavamukha and all. Then she started accepting in a sort of, I think, yes, I have to rethink about my understanding Sri Ramakrishna. Then on the lighter side, I said, this is not the problem of me and I and you alone. It is the age-old problem from Sri Ramakrishna time. Why? Young Naren, he was not even Swami Vivekananda that time. Young Naren, during Sri Ramakrishna, where Sri Ramakrishna was living in his body, in his physical body, in Dakshineshwar way back, maybe 84, 85. Once there was a discussion between Harmohan, a devotee, and also with a Swami Vivekananda, that is young Naren. So, young Naren made a statement, to understand Sri Ramakrishna's life and teachings, it is very difficult. And Sri Ramakrishna's one teaching, we can compile few books or maybe a library. Harmohan Datta said, Naren, I think you are over-exaggerating Sri Ramakrishna's life and teachings. We have got, all of us, we have got respect towards him, no doubt, but it is over-exaggeration, I feel. Young Naren said, no, it is neither exaggeration, nor it is emotional statement, it is the fact. Harmohan asked, okay, fine, and okay, can you prove it? Or can you explain it? Or can you make me understand? Then Swami Vivekananda, or young Naren, he took just one example or a story which is narrated by Sri Ramakrishna. The story goes like this. Once a young chap, a student, had come to forest to collect the firewood or to collect the grass. There he encountered a mad elephant. Okay, so then the person was sitting on the mad elephant who was supposed to be controlling the elephant. So this fellow, because God resides in everyone, he was trying to try to see the God even in that mad elephant. And though everyone, his friends and co-students, all of them ran, but he was standing in front of that mad elephant and he was trying to praise the elephant, or probably with hymns. That Mahut, the person who was sitting on, who was riding the elephant, he was saying, "This is a mad elephant, so it has got intoxicated. Please get away, otherwise your life will be in danger." But this fellow didn't hear, and that mad elephant really it took this student and it threw someplace and it went away. This simple story, most of us who have read Gospel of Ramakrishna, we all know that. Now, young Naren, he took this example and he started explaining and he made a statement that, look, there is an age old conflict in the Western philosophy and also in the Eastern philosophy. What is that? Free will versus predeterminism. Whether free will is right or predeterminism is right, or whether both are right, or what is the percentage involved, role of each in our life. Now, how to understand that? Sometimes we have seen from the philosophers or maybe from the people saying that everything is predestined. You became a monk, Swamiji, it was predestined already, so you became a monk. So everything was predestined, or it is a fate, fatalism also, if we can say, determinism we can use, or it is everything predestined, it goes. This is the one extreme. And some say that, oh, nothing of that, free will. Whatever I wish, I can do it. So everything is in my hands, everything is in my will. So free will. So there are people who speak free will is the truth, and that is the supreme truth, and probably subsidiary truth is determinism. So there's a conflict between this free will and determinism, age-old conflict between these two. Now, Sri Ram, and this particular story, young Naren takes that, and Sri Ramakrishna beautifully has solved the problem between the free will and determinism, or predeterminism. And he explains, he keeps on explaining about this story for 3 days. And young Naren says that still I can explain, but I think more than this retention power or observing power you don't have. And he says that and he stops. Now, Sri Ramakrishna's one teaching he took, and as a young Naren, he explained for 3 days, and he says that still I can explain, that is enough. More than this, you can't grasp. Now, this is one of a simple story. Most of us, whoever reads even divine play, most of you might have heard this, but this is a thing which we have to contemplate. So Sri Ramakrishna's life, Sri Ramakrishna's teachings is not, it is though simple in language, it has got very deep meaning. So the more and more we do meditation, the more and more we study, the more and more we get a purity of the mind. Or in a single sentence, when we progress in our spiritual life more and more, then we will be able to understand the depthness of any master's or any prophet's teachings. It may be Rama's, it may be Krishna, it may be Ramakrishna, it may be Jesus Christ or a Buddha, any prophet's life and teachings. It is not that easy to understand. It needs a good amount of study and good amount of austerity, purity of mind, and spiritual advancement. Now, as Swami Shardanandji himself makes a very clear statement that to understand Sri Ramakrishna, you have to understand the concept of Bhavamukha. This Bhavamukha is the unique concept. Though many other incarnations had this Bhavamukha experience, but no scripture till now in the world has explained explicitly, so clearly about the Bhavamukha. So this is one of the greatest contribution of Sri Ramakrishna and his disciples to the spiritual world and the divine wisdom. Now, this Bhavamukha is a Sanskrit word. Bhava, the simple literal meaning, if you see, it is mood actually, mood. But here bhava means it is existence. And mukha means source. For example, if you have gone to Himalayas, you will be knowing that go mukha. Go mukha is the place where first the first place where you see the manifestation of the Ganges in the Himalayas. That is called go mukh, because it is Hindi, they say it is mukh, go mukh. So mukha means it is a source. Now, bhava mukha means it is the source of existence. Now, what do we mean by the source of existence? Now, here you need some Vedantic understanding. Now, all of us, as Advaita Vedanta tells very clearly, all of us essentially we are divine, we are consciousness. So, how many divine beings, how many conscious beings are there, how many selves are there? If you ask, there's only one consciousness. There are so many individual beings. There are only reflected beings, reflected mediums. That's all. But there's the only one truth, or there's the only one self. Either you can say Atman, or you can say Brahman, or Paramatman, or whatever you say. That one is been appearing as many, has been reflected as many. Now that one, Upanishad tells very beautifully in the Taittiriya Upanishad, Sokamayata Bahusyam Prajayayeti. The Atman, the Brahman thought, desired, let me become many. Now that Brahman thought, so even to think, you need a individual consciousness, individual feeling. The notion of individual feeling means there is an ego. That I, the notion of ego or I is not there, then you can't say that I shall do this, I shall do that, I shall not do this. You cannot say that. So when you say Soka Mayata, the Brahman is thinking that, the Brahman is desiring means the notion of individuality is there already. And what did Brahman think or thought? It thought, let me become many. That's so we are so many individual beings are here. Now, that Soka Mayata, who thought, who desired? If you ask, the Upanishads tell it is not Parabrahma. Technically, they say Nirupadika Chaitanya. Nirupadika, Upadi means it is a limiting adjunct. Nirupadi means it is free from limiting adjuncts. So it is a bare awareness, it is a bare consciousness, is what Parabrahma. It doesn't have any form, it doesn't have any attributes. Now, this Brahman or Parabrahman plus Maya, that its own power, it becomes Sopadika Chaitanya. Means the consciousness with limiting adjunct, which is called Maya. That is called Ishvara. Now, that from Ishvara, all the cosmic minds, I mean, it is a cosmic mind from where all the thoughts has been emerged. All our individual minds, if you put together, collective mind, we can say that cosmic mind from where all the thoughts comes, that is what called Bhavamukha. Bhavamukha is the state where it is a source of existence. I mean, the Brahman with its own power called Maya, it, even they say, the Upanishads doesn't say he, it thought, they say, because we don't know. It is a masculine gender, a feminine gender, it is a neutral gender they use. It thought, let me become many. So that source of existence is called Bhavamukha. I know that it is some of you, it is going above the head. Above the head, I can think that. I will give a simple example. One more example you'll be able to understand, which has been given by Sri Ramakrishna himself. Now, some of us, we are sitting in this shrine in the Ramakrishna Vedanta Center or Air Vedanta Society. Fine. Now, say for example, outside the ashrama, there is a small park like a green meadow where there are some children, because while coming I saw, that's where I know. So some children were there 10 minutes before. Now, I don't know whether the children are there still playing or they might have gone to house, because we are all inside the house. Okay. Now the children are playing there, and the children are also not aware what is going on in this Vedanta society inside. Now, say for example, a devotee comes and opens the door. He comes and opens the door and is standing at the threshold of the door or in the door steps or the frame of the door. The door is open and he's standing there. Now, he is able to see what is happening in the road or in the park, and at the same time is also able to see what is happening inside this Vedanta society. So that threshold between where the transcendental portion, the transcendental aspect of the reality and the immanent aspect of the reality, at same time where he can experience, that state is called Bhavamukha. Otherwise, like we are all experiencing this world. When we are experiencing this world, we cannot experience the transcendental nature of the Brahman. Now, say any one of us, suddenly we reached the Nirvikalpa Samadhi. And when we are experiencing that, I'm that consciousness or that Chaitanya or whatever you say, at the same time, that person will not be able to understand and experience or experience the world. Whereas when a person is there in such a threshold where he's able to experience the Brahman, the consciousness, and is also able to experience the I mean this immanent world. So such state is called Bhavamukha. And Sri Ramakrishna, most of the time, he used to live in that state is called Bhavamukha. And Sri Ramakrishna himself, in a very simple language, has told that is between the threshold between Nitya and the Leela. So, what is Nitya and what is Leela here? Here, the Nitya means what? Eternal. Again, what is eternal? The eternal is nothing but the Brahman or the consciousness, which is devoid of all the attributes which ever existing. And the Leela is what? This world or the mother. Again, mother, it is used in the symbolical language. Here, the Leela means it is the immanent world. Now, so the Sri Ramakrishna is in the threshold where at the same time he is experiencing the world of change, the changing world, eternally changing world, which he is experiencing, and at the same time is also experiencing the eternal principle, which is called consciousness or the self or the supreme self or Brahman. Such threshold where he is there, he is in Bhav, that is called Bhavamukha. And from where all the ideas comes. From there, the entire creation starts. How to understand? For example, again, Taittiriya the example I will give. Sokamayita bosyam prajayeti, we know that. From there, what happens? Akashad, Agni, Rapa, Apa, Prithivya, Voshadaya, Voshadibhyo Namit. It all tells. So the Brahman thought, let me become many. From that Brahman with the Maya, Ishvara, which you say, from that Ishvara, first the space was being emerged. From the space, air got emerged. From air, fire got emerged. From fire, again, water got emerged. From water, the earth got emerged. And from that, living beings, from that, plants and living beings, everything you came. Now, everything, if you go back, finally from space, all of them has come. And the space has come from where? From that Brahman. So that's what again I'm saying, source of existence, which is called Ishvara, from their space and etc. The whole Jagat, the whole world has come. That is what Bhavamukha, that is the state of the nature of the Ishvara or any Avatara Purusha or an incarnation. Now, this has to be understood. It is not that easy for all of us to understand. When we read deeply, when you contemplate, when you study deeply Sri Ramakrishna's life and teachings, and especially Ramakrishna divine play, you'll be able to understand who is Sri Ramakrishna. Why is called as incarnation? Such a great wise person like Vivekananda. Why he started following Sri Ramakrishna? Why he accepted him as a teacher? We can get some glimpse. And interestingly, Sri Ramakrishna's experience of this Bhavamukha is also very interesting. Now, one more example I will give you how our sometimes understanding will be shallow. First experience of the Divine Mother. When it happened, we all know that Sri Ramakrishna meditated and he did a lot of austerities and meditation, prayers, crying, if everything. It happened for 4 years. 4 years, one day he got, dejected about himself. Then he went and he took the sword which was kept in the Divine Mother's temple and he wanted to end his life because there is no use without seeing the mother. Then he was about to chop his head himself. Then we all think that mother stopped it and he had a vision of mother and he fell down with that bliss, and it 1 or 2 or 3 days he was enjoying that bliss, and at some point of time he regained his consciousness and he started his life. This is what we all understand. So after 4 years, first he had the experience of the Divine Mother, we all think. Now, I ask all of you, or many of you, to go back and study Sri Ramakrishna's life once more, or especially the particular incident. There, Sri Ramakrishna never tells, first time I had the vision of mother. Instead of his experience, he beautifully tells that I started experiencing the waves after waves of light. The waves after waves of light I started experiencing, and I was enjoying it, and I got, merged in that, or I lost my consciousness. Again, it is a Nirvikalpa Samadhi experience according to me. Now, afterwards, when Totapuri came, He gave his monastic vows, and in 3 days he got Nirvikalpa Samadhi. We all know that. And for after going his Guru Totapuri for 6 months continuously, he was in that Nirvikalpa Samadhi, which generally, as per the scriptures, for 21 days generally the body falls up. But in Sri Ramakrishna's case, it was for 6 months. And during these 6 months, very interestingly, Sri Ramakrishna had completely, he didn't had any body consciousness. It's so much so that even his hair started getting locked and all matted hair, and birds were sitting and they were doing all their activities. And even I think some of the narrations they say that even like mosquitoes or houseflies, they were able to go inside the nose and mouth of Sri Ramakrishna and go. But Sri Ramakrishna was unaware of all these things. You know. Now, but after this, interestingly, 6 months he was in Nirvikalpa Samadhi. After 6 months of Nirvikalpa Samadhi, when his mind got bit down, and he had 6 months of dysentery, blood dysentery. Now imagine 1 or 2 days if you have got a blood dysentery, what will be our state? Our mind goes down, meditation, lecture, or thinking of God, studying, anything, everything we will keep it aside because we feel weak, we feel disturbed, and etc. Now, Sri Ramakrishna had a 6 months of blood dysentery continuously. And after this, Sri Ramakrishna says, "Oh, mother gave me this blood dysentery for 6 months. Why, you know? Because of that, my mind got little down and I was able to live in this world or see this world." That, I mean, why I'm giving this example, you can understand how Sri Ramakrishna's mind was soaked in that completely consciousness, or how his mind would have been. After experiencing the 6 months of blood dysentery, his mind came down bit little, a bit or little. Now you can very well imagine what would have been the mind of Sri Ramakrishna, how spiritual wonder, or what you can say. Anyhow, now interestingly, Buddha also experienced the Nirvikalpa Samadhi, is at least one book it says. And his experience, they have explained like this. So, while experiencing the Nirvikalpa Samadhi, what was the Buddha's experience? He had a deep meditation. When he was in a deep meditation, slowly, when his meditation got intensified, he started understanding and experiencing that all the gross material is getting merged in the subtle material, subtle thing. All the gross is getting merged in the subtle. Okay. Then afterwards, his mind went above still, and there is no subtle, there is just an unified mass. And still his mind traveled or experienced, and he was seeing just an awareness. And afterwards, there is no explanation. This is what the experience of Nirvikalpa Samadhi of Buddha. Now, contrast, again, one more I would like to tell. This Nirvikalpa Samadhi experience of Swami Shivananji, who is the monastic disciple of Sri Ramakrishna. In Omkareshwar, I believe. In Omkareshwar, Swami Shivananji was sitting in a meditation. At one time, he experienced Nirvikalpa Samadhi. After experience of Nirvikalpa Samadhi, when his mind got down, now you imagine, even when Buddha's mind came down, he started feeling the awareness, and afterwards unified mass from subtle things, gross things are coming. Same that experience Buddha had. Now, this Mahapurush Maharaja Swami Shivanji, when he came down from his Nirvikalpa Samadhi, he started experiencing, immediate experience was Sri Ramakrishna. Immediately he was experiencing Sri Ramakrishna. Then his mind got still down. From Sri Ramakrishna, different gods and goddesses are being immersed. And from different gods and goddesses, so many the world or the grass world has been immersed. This is what the experience of Mahapurush Maharaj. Now, when you see all these things, what you are understanding is that Ishvara is the source of creation. From that, the entire creation has been happened. Now, that Sri Ramakrishna, the Mahapurush Maharaj example very clearly tells that Sri Ramakrishna is representing that cosmic truth called Ishvara, or in the Vedantic language, if you ask me, that is Sopadika Chaitanya. Or in a layman's language, keeping all the Upanishadic statements and keeping the Puranic language, all these things, if you want me to say in the simple layman's language, that Bhavamukha is nothing but the cosmic I, or universal ego, or cosmic ego. So Sri Ramakrishna used to stay always in that state where he was able to experience the transcendental nature of the self and the ephemeral nature of the world. That's the one thing. And he was representing that cosmic ego or universal ego. That is the reason very beautifully he tells that whenever anything happens, will it happen or will you bless so that it can happen? He always used to say that I don't know anything. I mean, everything as mother wishes, as mother wills, as mother wishes, everything happens. What does it mean? That mother is representing what? That cosmic strength or cosmic ego or universal ego. Now, when you understand these things or this Bhavamukha concept of Sri Ramakrishna, your understanding about Sri Ramakrishna gets deepened. Okay. And very interestingly, Tapasyaji discusses all these things. Probably one point only I will discuss. It will be too difficult otherwise. Now, we all know that the Jivan Mukta state, the person who experienced the self and is living still in the body. So, after experiencing the self, how one can live in this physical body, if you ask? Vedanta, whoever has heard my Tattvabodha Aprokshanabhuti lectures, will be able to recall or remember now, because his Agami karma and Sanchita karma will be nullified. Only Prarabdha karma is there. Till the exhaustion of Prarabdha karma, his body stays. I mean, again, I will give a simple example. Now you have got bow and arrow example I can take. Some arrows you have kept in your, what do you say, in your collection. No, something happened. All these arrows, whatever was kept in the collection, got destroyed. But you have shot the one arrow, and people came and they destroyed all the arrows. But already you have shot one arrow, and that arrow is going to reach its target, which you have left it already. Even people come, it is not that easy. It will go and it reaches its target. That is what called prarabdha karma. This is what we see in the Vedanta. But Sri Ramakrishna gives a very interesting explanation for this from the Bhavamukha concept, from the Bhavamukha angle. He says a person already experienced Nirvikalpa Samadhi. He has experienced the consciousness. Okay. Afterwards, his mind has come down. Never mind. For such a person, how the karma can be effect, how the karma can have its effect, karma can have its role. That means karma has become much more greater than consciousness. This is one of the question has been raised by the commentators. There, Sri Ramakrishna tells very beautifully, it is not that the karma has its effect or whatever, that he brings the divine mother's role there. Again, it is a very interesting thing. If I go to go, then it will be too philosophical. So just maybe, probably I will, Swami Tapasyanji tells very beautifully, being and will. The nature of the Bhavamukha is what? Being and will. Being is awareness, be being awareness, and will is what? The will is I shall do this, I shall do that, I shall not do this, I shall not do that. Again means what? The role, I mean, again, that in, I mean, ego is there. So being and will, it is the state between being and will, or it is the state with being and will. That is what called the Bhavamukha. So Sri Ramakrishna always used to live in that state called Bhavamukha, which is the source of existence, source of thoughts, and the source of the world. Now you can understand Sri Ramakrishna's actions or Sri Ramakrishna's teachings, why it was so divine. So, in one more thing, we can say that very clearly. We all have got egocentric life, whereas Sri Ramakrishna had a God-centric life. We have got egocentric life or worldly centric life, and Sri Ramakrishna and the saints and prophets, mostly, all of them, they predominantly they will have the God-centric life or the conscious-centric life. So our direction of all of our spiritual practice is what? Moving from world-centric or egocentric life to God-centric life or conscious-centric life is what we have to do it. Now, regarding Sri Ramakrishna, Swami Vivekananda has beautifully has given, it is, of course, it is in a Bengali, it has been translated into English. He has given a very beautiful, what do you say, description about who is Sri Ramakrishna and what is Sri Ramakrishna, why he has been revered, respected, etc. And one more question we will get all of us in the pranama mantra, the salutation hymn, which I chanted at the beginning. There, Sri Ramakrishna has been addressed by Swami Vivekananda as an avatara varishta. Means he is the best among the incarnations. So now how to understand? Oh, because Swami Vivekananda is the disciple of Sri Ramakrishna, so that's the reason he has been addressed as Avatara Varishta, as emotional language, or just that's all. Apart from that, I don't think anything else. People may think, but it is not so. And Swami Vivekananda gives a beautiful explanation in this particular article called Hinduism and Sri Ramakrishna. When Sri Ramakrishna descended on this earth, what was the problem? The dharma means, again, it is not the organized religion. From that point I'm speaking, dharma or the values or the notion of the right and wrong, ethics, morality, whatever you can say. So the dharma had declined so much when you compare to other incarnations. Rama descended, Buddha descended, Krishna descended, Jesus descended. The erosion of values or the erosion of dharma, what had happened comparatively when Sri Ramakrishna descended and when other incarnations descended, it was much more. So when Sri Ramakrishna descended, the erosion of values or the erosion of dharma was so bad. So it needs a lot of power. It needs a lot of spiritual strength to uplift the humankind. That's why Sri Ramakrishna was so spiritual, so pure, and with full of sattva. Even at least in Rama and Krishna, and you say sattva mishrita rajas, you see. But in Ramakrishna, you don't see sattva mishrita rajas at all. It is completely sattva. Why it is? Because the dharma had gone so declined. So for that, a good amount of sattva or sattvika shakti was required. And Sri Ramakrishna came and he lifted the mankind, or as Sri Ramakrishna tells, as Swami Vivekananda tells, he awakened that Brahma Kundalini by his power or by his spiritual practice or whatever. That's why he is called Avatara Varishta. And he himself tells very clearly, the new religion of the age will benefit the whole world. That is Sri Ramakrishna, but most especially India. Bhagwan Sri Ramakrishna, the founder of this new religion, is the reconstructed manifestation of the earlier founders of religions. Oh, human beings, have faith in this and realize it. So Swami Vivekananda is telling very clearly, Sri Ramakrishna has fulfilled, has brought all the greatness of the other old religions, and also he has refurnished the religion. And have faith in this and try to realize it, try to experience it. So who is Sri Ramakrishna has been told very clearly. And he himself tells very clearly, Swami Vivekananda is explaining who is Ramakrishna. During this spiritual renaissance, the new incarnation of this age, endowed with tremendous divine power, will gather together the divided and scattered religious ideals, practice, and realize them in his own life, and rediscover the knowledge that was lost. To bring this about, the all merciful God has therefore incarnated himself as an incarnation in the present age, one who is exceedingly perfect, more so than those who came before him. He is the embodiment of all the religious ideals and the support of all the branches of learning. Before this present degeneration, no wheel of darkness had ever enveloped the holy land of India so deeply as this last dismal night, which is now merely a remnant. It is almost gone. And compared to the depth of this last fall, all previous collapses seem like the little hoof prints of a cow, Goshpada. Therefore, before the effulgence of this new awakening, the glory of all past revivals of Aryan society will pale like stars before the rising sun. And compared to the reawakening of this great divine power, the manifestation of powers in the past ages will appear as child's play. So we can discuss so many other things. Now, probably some of you might have read already. Now, having this background, probably you should go back and start reading. For example, even the article Hinduism Sri Ramakrishna, every line has, endorsed with such a deep meaning. So even probably Hinduism and Sri Ramakrishna itself, when we take and we can discuss for few days, so much value and so much information, all these things has been put. Now let us enter into the, at least some introduction I shall try to give. Sri Ramakrishna in Bhavamukha. He tells very clearly, he starts with this Gita shloka in this chapter. Ye chaiva satvika bhava राजसास्तामसाश्चये मत्त एवेति तान् विद्धि नत्वहं तेषु ते मयि त्रिभिर्गुणमयैर्भावैः येभिः सर्वमिदं जगत् मोहितं नाभिजानाति मामेभ्यः परमव्ययम्. So who am I? Shri Krishna is telling very clearly. As Krishna means again God. Means I am taking that sattva, I am taking the shelter on the sattva, and I am descending on this earth to do the avatara karya. Whoever understands my real nature, they will be blessed and they will be liberated. It is from Gita. So this is an introduction is given by Swami Shardananji. After this, Swami Shardananji tells very beautifully why we need to understand the Bhavamukha. If you understand the Bhavamukha, then you'll be able to understand who is Sri Ramakrishna. As I told, Om Rim Rutam, we have discussed these things. How is the source of creation? How is the cosmic law? And how is the God incarnate? And he also takes the example of Girish Chandra Ghosh. Now, the story goes like this. Girish, once he was there and with all his disciples in the Dakshineshwar temple complex. Sri Ramakrishna said, look, Girish, he is giving very simple spiritual practice. What is that? Morning once, evening once, just you remember God. That is enough. You will reach your goal. Now imagine if any guru or anyone if tells us morning once and evening once you remember God and you will be able to have a self-realization or emancipation. Immediately we will say, thank God. Yes, definitely we will do it. And if we cannot do it, but now when so many people are there, we cannot out of, what you say, courtesy or the manners or whatever, we say, okay, we'll say, but we will be knowing that we'll not be able to do it. But Girish Chandra Ghosh was very clear and he was very sincere. Because of that sincerity, he got all that, whatever, though he was a drunkard and etc., etc. He said, Master, because as you know that I am a drunkard and I will be always intoxicated by this wine, not divine wine, but this normal wine. So I don't know in what time, which state I will be there. I cannot promise you that every day without fail, morning and evening, I can remember the God or I can pray to God. I cannot promise you. No, Sri Ramakrishna thinks and he says, okay, I'll give some concession. At least daily once you try to remember God. Girish Chandra Ghosh, he gives a pass, he thinks, and he says, no, that is also not possible. Now, the disciples who were there in and around him, they were getting really frightened. They were getting little panic or they were getting really angry or not. What is this? Sri Ramakrishna is giving such a, lottery, spiritual lottery. And this fellow is such a, rogue or a, thick-skinned fellow animal. He's not making use of it. Including Dr. Ramchandra, all were getting really annoyed or whatever. But Girish Chandra Ghosh, he thought and he said, no, Master, even I cannot promise you because I don't know in which condition I will be there. Then Sri Ramakrishna thought and he said, okay, you give your complete responsibility for me, complete responsibility. Girish Chandra Ghosh, oh, that's all, no problem, you take it. Then what should I do? Then Sri Ramakrishna said, from today onwards, you need not to do anything. I will take care of your progress. It is my responsibility. Girish Chandra Ghosh said, yes, take away. Sri Ramakrishna says, but think twice. Once if you give, you can't take it back. Sri Ramakrishna said, yeah. Girish Chandra Ghosh said, no, because I'm not to do anything. I can do whatever I want now. So I'm free from all the do's and don'ts. Yes, please take it. Sri Ramakrishna took. Afterwards, the same day, I think, Girish said, I would like to do this. Sri Ramakrishna said, how can you say that I would like to do this? Because you have given the responsibility to me. So whatever I say, you should do it. Now there is no I. Then Girish Chandra Ghosh said, my dear, I didn't know this is so terrible. Giving one's responsibility for someone means such a terrible, I didn't know this. But anyhow, it was helpless. He was helpless already. Then slowly, Girish says that. Afterwards, even he wanted to drink or he wanted to do whatever, going to some red light area and all, even because of his natural habit, even if he wanted to go, he was unable to go. Someone were pulling his shirt and he was forced to do good things and he was forced to be good. And finally, he became a great saint or a Nora Brahman. This is a story, we all know that. Now, Swami Shardananji discussed this. So here, Karma Pasha, Karma Kator we say. For an example, in Kandana Vandana Aratrikam we sing the word called Karma Kator. Karma Kator means, for an example, we have got our own prarabdha karma. Every one of us, we have got prarabdha karma. No, to certain extent, it can be reduced by the science, but it cannot be completely nullified by any saint. Only it can be cancelled only by the incarnation or the God alone. That's why Sri Ramakrishna has been addressed by Swami Vivekananda as Karma Kathor. Now, in the Girish Chandra Ghosh case, also very clearly we can understand that his all prarabdha karma has been taken by Sri Ramakrishna and he has been liberated completely. So this capacity is possible only, or the capacity has got only for incarnations. I will give a simple contrast example, then you will be able to understand. I mean, Ramayana, we all know that. I mean, 14, I mean, they went for 14 years of forest, and last 1 year, 11 months or 1 year was spending. Then, I mean, Sita was kidnapped by Ravana, and then they went and they fought, and Sita was brought back. All this we know. After a few years, there was a misunderstanding about Sita and Sita's conduct, and Rama was, because keeping his Rajadharma, the duty of the king, keeping that in the mind, he had to, though he had all confidence in Sita, but unfortunately, he had to abandon Sita. We all know that. Finally, afterwards, when the people came to know their mistakes, then if Sita, Mother Sita, if she comes and tells, or if she proclaims about her chastity, then we are ready to accept, people say. And Ram also says that if she comes and proclaims about her chastity, then definitely I will also accept her as my wife. And she was already, I mean, tired or whatever. She comes and she makes a proclamation: if I am chaste woman, and without, other than my husband Rama, if I have not seen any other husband, any other male in a other view, then Mother Earth, let she come and take me. That we all know that. And Mother, then the earth got split and Mother Earth comes and Sita goes along with that, and that's how the Sita's Leela got ended. We all know that. No, this, whatever is going to happen, this was very clearly Vasishtha, who was the Kulaguru and who was the Brahma's Manasaputra, Brahma's spiritual son, who was a Brahmagnani, the Nora of Brahman, who had a lot of spiritual powers. He was well aware that this will happen to Sita. Apart from that, the Valmiki, who is the author of the Ramayana, and who took care of the Sita, who took care of the Lava and Kusha's, I mean, education and all that. Even that great Brahmagnani, the Valmiki, was also quite well aware that what is going to happen for Sita or for others. And he tried his best to stop this or to check this so that let this not happen by either Vasishta, the great Brahmarshi, Brahmagnani, and the Valmiki equally. And they were all spiritual, luminaries, spiritual powerhouses, they were all. But none of them were able to stop the happening of Sita's. That's where I'm saying Karma Kathor, this Pasha, the Karma Pasha completely removing and giving a release, Mukti or Moksha, it is only possible for incarnations or for the God. So, taking the example of Girish Chandra Ghosh, Swami Shardanji explains how Sri Ramakrishna is an incarnation. Why he should be considered as incarnation. Taking this Girish Chandra Ghosh case, he explains us why Sri Ramakrishna is known as incarnation. And incarnation doesn't mean that someone is a very divine, he has got a particular form or no. So that incarnation, yes, he has got a form, he may be having a form or without form, whatever it may be. He represents the cosmic truth. He represents the cosmic principles. He represents the absolute existence. He represents the truth and much more. So when we understand this more and more, then our understanding about the God, about the incarnation, about the spiritual life, all these things becomes better and better. Then our faith gets increased. Then what happens? Our quality of spiritual life, our quality of meditation, all these things becomes better. So because some of you might get a question, oh Samji, why are you why are you taking so much trouble to explain all these things, philosophical things, some of us with some of the things which goes above the head. Some of you might feel, no doubt, I don't say no. But when you understand all these things, then you will be able to understand the incarnation or the prophet and the spiritual life or the Paramatman, Supreme Self more and more. By this, what happens? Our devotion, our quality of meditation and quality of spiritual life becomes better. So that's the reason just I'm picking up few incidents and few utterances or few understandings from the Sri Ramakrishna's divine play, and I'm trying to place in front of you and trying to explain so that you'll be able to understand you can try to understand. So with this understanding, then you can reread Sri Ramakrishna's divine play. Then you'll be able to enjoy more and more, I suppose. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.